Set against the backdrop of the enigmatic megaliths of Meghalaya, Yug, Abhimanyu, and their friends find themselves in the midst of an uncanny adventure. The previous episode had concluded with a flurry of laughter after Abhimanyu's fright was transformed into a comical prank by the group's resident jester, Kachua. Kachua had masterfully duped them into accepting the notion of a mythical Yakshini being summoned. The laughter gradually faded as Kayar, the group's most enthusiastic foodie, arrived with an assortment of the region's finest dishes and a bottle of aged whiskey. Their evening was to be spent together, their previous arrangements disrupted by an unforeseen tempest. As they enjoyed the food and sipped on the whiskey, they exchanged stories of the region's history, its customs, and myths. Abhimanyu, on the other hand, was unable to forget about the Yakshini. His doubt and intrigue regarding the paranormal world made him an easy target for the group's light-hearted mockery. However, as darkness spread, Yug was troubled by a distressing memory from his past. His father's cold abandonment at a boarding the night took an eerie twist when Yug began hearing his father's ghostly voice. A voice that was supposed to be this unforeseen twist initiated a rapid emotional roller coaster for Yug, and unknowingly, the group found themselves embroiled in a bone-chilling series of events. A voice echoed through the eerie silence, a familiar voice that shouldn't exist. This was a voice Yug remembered so well, a voice that once comforted him, guided him, a voice that had been silenced by death. Frozen in place, Yug's heart pounded with a rhythm of disbelief and fear, each echo of his father's voice sending a cold shiver through his core. His logical mind fought with the impossible reality unfolding before him. His father was no longer among the living. How could his voice permeate the room? An intense emotional turmoil surged within Yug. A complex mix of grief, fear, and an unexplainable glimmer of hope swirled within him. Could it be that his father's soul was reaching out to him from the other side? Was he seeking liberation from an unseen realm? The questions raced through his mind, adding to his confusion and distress. The mystery deepened as Yug and his slightly inebriated friends, including the ever-skeptical Abhimanyu, found themselves drawn into the intricacies of an uncanny sequence of events. A room, shrouded in darkness, stood ominously before them, its foreboding aura palpable. Whispers of legend suggested that this room was the prison of the mystical Yakshini, a being of unknown supernatural power. A chill ran down their spines as they approached the room, the voice becoming louder and more insistent with each step. The group stood at the threshold, uncertainty and anticipation filling the air as they prepared to confront the source of the phantom whisper. With every step towards the room, the voice grew louder, more insistent. In the midst of the fear and tension, Yug found solace in a familiar warmth. It was Anaya, his lover, her presence a beacon of light in the consuming darkness. Yug moved towards her, his body seeking the comfort of her touch, her embrace. Their bodies entwined, their breaths mingling in the quiet room, creating an intimate sanctuary amidst the chaos. Anaya, her eyes brimming with understanding and concern, cradled Yug's face, her touch soothing his turmoil. The world outside ceased to exist as they lost themselves in each other, their hearts beating in rhythm. "You're not alone, Yug," Anaya whispered, her voice soft yet firm, a melodious lullaby in the eerie silence. Her words, a balm to his tormented soul, reassured Yug. The room, once a prison of fear and confusion, transformed into a haven of love and solace. As they held each other, the spectral voice seemed to fade into the background, drowned by their shared heartbeat. For a fleeting moment, the supernatural took a back seat, replaced by the human emotions of love, comfort, and unity. The darkness seemed less intimidating, the voice less haunting, and the journey ahead less daunting. But this moment of tranquility was short-lived, the room's cold aura slowly creeping back, a chilling reminder of the unfolding paranormal saga. The tension in the room was palpable. A battle of beliefs was about to unfold. Yug, caught in the throes of the spectral presence, was in a quandary. He was torn between the belief that his father's soul was crying out for liberation and the rational skepticism of his friend, Abhimanyu. The room was thick with suspense, the silence punctuated only by their heated exchange. As Yug grappled with his emotional vulnerability, Abhimanyu stood his ground, armed with pragmatic reasoning. The tension escalated, their words ricocheting off the cold, dark walls, unveiling a clash of beliefs. Yug, driven by an emotional conviction, was ready to unlock the door to the unknown, while Abhimanyu, haunted by the potential dangers of what lay beyond, urged restraint. The room, steeped in mystery and fear, seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the decisive moment. And then, amidst the mounting tension, there it was. The door stood as the last barrier between them and the unknown. As the echoes of the clash faded into the blackness, Yug found himself drawn to an unexpected solace. His mind, fraught with concern and fear, sought refuge in the comfort of his lover's presence. In the midst of the spectral chaos, they found each other, their eyes meeting in the dim candlelight. The room, still heavy with the spectral tension, softened as they moved closer. Their bodies moved in an ancient rhythm, a dance as old as time itself, their hearts beating in sync. Yug's fingers traced the contours of her face, their whispers filling the room, creating a symphony of intimacy. Their shared fear and uncertainty seemed to melt away, replaced by a profound connection that transcended the realm of the paranormal. The room, once a battleground of beliefs, transformed into a haven of solace. Their shared sighs echoed against the cold stone walls, a testament to the power of love in the face of fear. The spectral presence outside the room seemed to recede, replaced by their shared warmth and intimacy. In the face of the unknown, Yug and his lover sought solace in each other, their love a beacon of hope in the darkness. With a trembling hand, Yug reached out for the door. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat echoing the gravity of the decision he was about to make. "Are we really doing this?" he questioned, glancing back at Abhimanyu, his eyes wide with anxiety. Their silence was a stark contrast to the deafening uncertainty that filled the room. With a deep breath, Yug turned the rusty key, the metallic grinding sound echoing in the eerie silence. Suddenly, an icy gust of wind rushed out, extinguishing the flickering candlelight and plunging the room into darkness. Gripped by terror, Yug and Abhimanyu hastily retreated, sealing the room to contain the ominous force within. Their hearts pounded in sync with the suspenseful rhythm of the night. The lingering question of whether Yakshini had been unleashed added an element of suspense that hung heavy in the cold, still air. As they closed the door behind them, a chilling question hung in the air. Had they unleashed Yakshini? The aftermath of their actions was a chilling silence that wrapped around them like a cold shroud. Yug and Abhimanyu stood outside the door, the flickering candlelight illuminating their apprehensive faces. The shadows danced on the walls, mimicking their inner turmoil and fear. Yug swallowed hard, his throat dry. "We have to go back in," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Abhimanyu nodded, the fear in his eyes replaced by a determined glint. "We have to face what we've unleashed." With that, they cautiously approached the door, their hearts pounding in their chests. The door creaked open, revealing nothing but darkness and the unknown. As they stepped into the room, the question lingered. Were they ready to confront the force they had unleashed, the Yakshini? Or was their courage merely a flicker against the engulfing darkness? The door creaked shut behind Yug and Abhimanyu, sealing off their escape. The darkness was oppressive, a palpable entity that seemed to breathe with them. The flickering candlelight was their only ally, casting long shadows that twisted and turned into monstrous shapes. Yug's voice trembled as he called out into the darkness. "We seek answers. Show yourself, Yakshini." A chilling wind blew out their candle, plunging them into total darkness. Suddenly, a soft, eerie glow filled the room, revealing a spectral figure, the Yakshini. Her eyes were pools of darkness, her face a mask of serene fury. "You have summoned me. Now face the consequences," she hissed, her voice echoing in the silent room. Yug and Abhimanyu stood their ground, their fear replaced by a newfound courage. They were ready to face their fate, to confront the unknown. Even as the Yakshini advanced, their resolve didn't waver. This was their moment of truth, their confrontation with the paranormal. They had crossed the point of no return, and now they were ready to face whatever lay ahead. To be continued.